Senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. All right, Judge, good morning. Perjury cases are not easy. It's my understanding they're very difficult to prove in court. So, I mean, prosecutors kind of have an uphill climb here, don't they?
They have a substantial uphill climb, but this is the third attempt to indict him. The first attempt by the now departed U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. The grand jury rejected it. Yesterday, the grand jury rejected a second attempt to indict him, which included 2 perjury counts and 1 obstruction of justice. Then the prosecutors presented a third indictment, and this one the grand jury accepted. What is the allegation of the lying? It's not the clip that we just showed. It's a question from Senator Ted Cruz. Did you authorize Andrew McCabe, one of your deputies, to leak information to the press? Answer no. It's the one-word answer no. Andrew McCabe told them in another setting Jim Comey did authorize it.
So it's a he said, he said.
It's a he said, he said. However, because of the he said, at the time this was said, there were both officials in the DOJ. The DOJ conducted an investigation. The independent inspector general concluded Andrew McCabe was lying and Jim Comey was telling the truth. That's the reason that so many prosecutors, professional prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office have said, we can't win this case. You can't win a he said, he said. Now, why the obstruction of justice? Sort of an add-on. If you lie to the Congress, you divert their attention from what they're doing, you waste their time. That's the obstruction of justice. So if he's acquitted on the he said, then the obstruction of justice goes away as well.
It is going to be hard to prove a lot of this out, but with respect to the Russia hoax, we know that the facts are there. It was totally unfounded, and Comey, as head of the FBI, promoted all of that. But of course, Democrats are howling political prosecution. Many of the same, though, cheered when we saw Donald Trump getting indicted, when we saw Michael Flynn and all of those individuals.
It's terrible to use the Justice Department as an instrument of vengeance against your opponents, no matter who does it. We have talked countless hours of how unjust it was to do this to Donald Trump. It's now unjust for his Justice Department to do it as well. The Russia hoax is not part of this.
Right.
This is simply, did you tell the truth when you said one word, no? Very, very difficult to prove. A little bit of a human interest story. Jim Comey's son-in-law is a prosecutor in that office who resigned in the courtroom as soon as the indictment was handed to the federal magistrate.
So one of the things I found interesting was that this indictment and these charges stem from the Eastern District of Virginia, not Washington, D.C., where the Senate was and where this testimony, the investigation took place. And they probably did it because there's no way you're going to find a jury in Washington, D.C. that would convict Jim Comey because they're all Democrats. But they go to Eastern District of Virginia, randomly get a Biden-appointed judge. Is this thing even going to get to court, or are they going to dismiss this thing?
I think it'll be dismissed before it gets to a jury. Why is the case in Virginia if the testimony was before the Congress? Because the testimony was during COVID, and Jim Comey was testifying remotely from his home, which is in the Eastern District of Virginia. The government did not luck out with the choice of a judge, but I don't think it matters. The case is so weak, most judges won't let the case go to a jury.
So what's the next step here?
Well, the next step is a lot of litigation, which Comey's lawyers, and we don't know who they are yet. I'm sure he'll have an excellent team of experienced ex-federal prosecutors, will narrow down all of the evidence. You have any evidence besides Andrew McCabe, and if it's just Andrew McCabe, look at his background, and then they will eventually move to a judge to say, no jury can accept this, you want to throw it out.
The arraignment will be in a couple of weeks. Real quickly, Judge, are we going to see a perp walk and a mugshot of Jim Comey?
Yes. We saw it for Donald Trump. We'll see it for Jim Comey.
And will that be today? Will that be at arraignment? When does he turn himself in?
That's really up to him and his lawyers. Normally, it's very, very soon as today. But when it happens, it'll be highly newsworthy, and it's almost incongruous or inconceivable because of all the people that Jim Comey participated in prosecuting. He was a federal prosecutor. He was the chief U.S. attorney here in New York City for many years. To see him in a mugshot, but you'll see it.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.